Mid-game fights are the biggest learning curve in Fortnite. If you can get past them, then you can consider yourself a good fighter. But they get progressively harder and harder, so what's the secret to winning? I'll give you 5 tips, and number 5 is actually what made this whole thing click for me, so hopefully it can click for you. But number 1, the first thing you should be working on is roaming edge zone for fights instead of center zone fights. When you stay on the outside of safe zone, you'll encounter less third parties and your kills will be easier to get. But there's still plenty of people out there for high kill games. These people are stragglers that either struggled looting and getting a good loadout, or are weak from running from storm or finishing a different fight. When you engage into these fights, you can be confident because your likelihood of getting third partied goes way down. This is because aggressive fighters usually land at a somewhat center POI and then push in towards the middle of the map because statistically that's where zone usually pulls. Hence, people will rotate there, but not you. You will stick to the edge of zone. And if you want mid-game elims for high kill games, then you should zigzag around the edge. If you want to play safe, then you can just slowly move in on the edge of zone. But zigzagging and looking for these stragglers is how you get those 20 bomb games. A big misconception I see people having is they think, if I'm gonna get this 20 bomb, I must be able to end every fight quickly, even the best player in the lobby that's stacked with max mats and good loot. No! Don't do that. Don't think like that. The point is to stick to easier kills to get these high elim games, and those will always be the stragglers towards the end of zone. Think about it. In a game, a kill is a kill. Doesn't matter who it is. That crosshair icon is going up either way. And even better, in a tournament, a kill is a point no matter who it is. So make sure it's the easy ones. So stop thinking you must kill the best player in the lobby to deem yourself okay. Winning mid-game fights is about choosing which fights to take. Tip 2 and 3 go together, but tip 2 is to start each fight initially playing slow. Fight momentum can turn in a second depending on who gets significant damage first. This person has to either box up or build fight on lower health, and either is a disadvantage. So the goal of engagement to begin is don't be the first one to take significant damage. If you play every fight trying to be the one to get first blood, then you'll likely start to play safer peaks and smarter peaks and will just be more efficient. And even if you don't get a huge shot, just constant chip damage without taking any returns hit will turn the tide in your favor. I urge you to try this in game. The next time you get into a fight, just try and outlast them to begin. And you'll probably start to feel the momentum turn in your favor. But then of course, once you have the momentum, how do you actually finish the fight? I notice a lot of my viewers can do good in fights, but struggle actually ending them. So that's what tip 3 is about. And if you're enjoying this video so far, please drop a like and invest in the channel to be an OG. The Avatar Battle Pass just dropped too, and I love the skins. So if you're gonna pick up anything soon, please use code reidtheninja to support me so I can continue making these tip videos. But tip number 3 is about finishing fights. And let me know if you guys want a dedicated video about this topic, but the thing I will say on this is if you get big damage in, it's time to stop playing safe and just go for the finish. This could be either 50-50ing into their box by phasing, making some aggressive bait, knocking them out, etc. And the reason I say this is it's better to do a risky play when you have the health advantage instead of dragging the fight on and draining your own resources, whether that's mats, meds, or both. The longer a fight drags on, the more likely it is that you'll die. Even if you eventually outlast your opponent, you'll be in shambles and probably die to a third party too. And the only argument I could see for playing passively no matter what to not die is in a tournament. In tournaments, placement points matter so much more than elims, but again, with a shambles loadout, you're probably just gonna die 5 minutes later, and in a tournament setting, that's actually worse. It's better to die early if you're gonna die in a tournament that you're not making to endgame. These matches are set up so you don't have enough time to play out every game fully, so forcing a 50-50 and moving on is better. You either get the kill, finish the fight, or you can back out and queue up again instead of wasting another 5 minutes not getting any placement points because it's mid-game. But even in pubs or ranked, the same thing applies. It's better to end the fight after getting a big hit in than dragging it along and wasting your resources. The best way I found for this is momentum or stair phasing into their box. And if you're doing this, you want to make sure that they have a cone in their box instead of a stair or just nothing. And it doesn't even matter if it's yours or theirs. You just don't want them to put that stair up and now there's another piece in between you and them. Because even if the cone is theirs, phases happen so quickly that successfully editing that cone up is just unlikely. Tip 4 is shockingly easy, but I still find myself not doing it, and I get plenty of damage on other people not doing it either. But it's, for the love of God, just cover your angles if you're in a fight. Like gonna smack on his walls? Just build walls behind you so a third party doesn't snipe your head off. Not to mention, this protects you from getting full pieced in your current fight. So there's no reason to not do it, except that we're lazy and want to keep our precious mats, but I'm telling you, just make the sacrifice. Mid-game fights are simply who gets to 0 health first, so why are you allowing a chance for your bar to get knocked down by someone who's not even involved? Like I said earlier, stay on edge zone so you don't have to worry about this too much, but it's still a good habit to get in to block your angles. Like in an edge zone fight, for example, if you forget to put a wall down, you won't get punished as bad. But if you don't cover your angle for like 1 millisecond in mid zone, you will get punished. So just make it a habit, but of course combine all the tips in this video for the best success. But say you do get hit hard. You know, you're running out of meds and resources, what do you do now? That's when I finally got tip 5 through my head, which I'll tell you right now. And again, this is the tip that changed my game around. Once this clicked for me, I started doing so much better. And if you're struggling with something specific like I was, let me help you out. I know this isn't going to be for everyone, but I'm still going to tell you, if you want Fortnite coaching, I'm offering that now on weekends. Join the Discord in the description and look at the coaching instructions channel for the purchasing directions. And if you're a first time user, use code VCARD at checkout and it brings you to only a $35 total. But tip 5, and the thing that changed my game around, is learning when to disengage. I always felt like a bitch running from a fight, so I'd pretty much stand my post like Snappy and then get slammed. And I'll be honest, that's a mentality that hasn't changed, but I kind of convinced myself to disengage on one condition. I keep thinking to myself, if I disengage from this fight now, once I'm healthy again, I'll have to make up for it by getting an additional 2 more kills. This way, I don't feel like a leaving a fight. That way I can survive for longer and get more kills. And feel good and aggressive while doing it. In pursuit of a high kill game, or just making it to endgame for that matter, I always thought of it as a linear process. If you come across someone, you have to get through them and then you go up a place. But now I realize that graph isn't linear at all. You can get slammed a fight and your chance of winning goes down a lot, but you can also come back from that. The best way of disengaging, in my opinion, is if a third party comes over. Once there's another person shooting and another pair of footsteps walking around, it gets much harder to track that first person down who's weak, which is you. And my first move isn't to disengage, never. But if a third party does come around, it's like a get out of jail free card. And you can just use that opportunity to leave. Alternatively, you can also try and get one more big shot on your opponent so they box up. And once they box up, if you're weak too, you might just want to leave. Of course, you can then come back later for revenge once you get healthy again, you know, get your additional 2 kills, and you'll be good, you'll be convinced, and you'll be aggressive. For example, I was fighting this Zuko skin and got hurt so badly that I decided to disengage when this third party came over. And speaking of which, that Zuko skin is pretty cool. So if you're gonna get any of these skins or the Avatar Paddle Pass, again, please use code reidtheninja or just another small creators code to help more people make it onto the scene. Drop a like and invest into the channel for more tips and tricks. And if you've been struggling with early game fights too, I already made a video about that. I got you covered. Click this to find out how to win every off-spawn battle and make it to these mid-game fights. Thank you for watching. My name is reidtheninja, and on that note, I'm signing off.